I used to have a coworker who was aware that I had watched a lot of movies and TV shows. One day we were talking, well, she was like, I haven't seen a lot of the movies that you're talking about. Can you recommend some? Can I borrow some movies from you and get caught up on ones that I might not have heard about? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can tell you what movies I have, and you can tell me which ones you're interested in borrowing. She's like, okay. And I printed off a list. I'm just like, if you have a question about any of them, she asked questions about a lot of them because it was in alphabetical order, and it wasn't, I didn't think through when I made this list, okay? It was just alphabetical order, and it was just the titles. So she would see a title and be like, okay, who's in this one? And I would do my best to tell her. And if I couldn't remember exactly, I'd have to pull up IMDb or something. She said something about wanting a rounded mix of everything. She watched several movies that I had suggested. She typically didn't make film recommendations to me, but there were 3, I think. There were 2 that I'm like, well, the least I can do is watch this. And one of them was a TV show that I watched the first, I want to say 2 or 3 episodes of, and I was like, I don't really like it. But the other one was 50 Shades of Grey. And at the time that she recommended it, I was like, yes, I've heard of it. Yes, I've heard of the book. I have no interest in it. And she's like, no, come on. It's a really good movie. You should watch it. The guy who plays Christian Grey is really attractive, and he's really good, and you should definitely watch it. And I'm like, fine. This movie is I don't know, give or take 2 hours. I already know the basic plot line. Fine, I'll watch it. And I did. And I was right. I did not like it. However, there was one thing that I did like about this movie. This movie, the thing that stuck out to me, and the reason that I'm not mad about having watched it, was this one scene. There is a dress. There's a dress that Anna wears that is beautiful. And from the first moment I saw it on the screen, I'm like, I want this dress. I want this dress so much. It is so pretty. I have no idea where I'm going to wear it or in what circumstances. When I went back and I talked to her afterwards, she's like, so did you watch it? I'm like, yeah, I did. And she's like, what'd you think? I'm like, there's this one dress that I really liked. And I can't remember if I actually shit on the rest of the movie or if that was enough for her to be like, okay, so of the whole movie, the only thing she's telling me about is this dress that she wants. It's this pink dress, and it has a wrap tie neckline, and it has a bit of a flared skirt, very twirlable. Found this really cute blush pink poplin, and I'm like, ooh, that would be perfect, because I just had the dress in my head at that point. And then I recently went back and I watched it, and I'm like, ooh, that's probably just layers and layers of chiffon. That is not the same weight. It's not going to have the same movability. But to be fair, it's also not the same opacity. This will be better. This makes more sense for Colorado than a layered chiffon sleeveless dress did for Seattle. One of the first things I did was I counted the buttons that are on the center front of the dress. Cut off a bit of the poplin fabric that I had and made 11 buttons. So woohoo, one thing I don't have to do. Next thing I did was I found, I looked through all of the patterns that I have to see if I could, if I happen to have anything that was similar enough. The pattern that I got for this, I think I bought this a couple of years ago. This guy. It's just a top. This B right here. It has a tie neck, as you can maybe sort of see. It has a tie neck, and it kind of just goes down, which is, well, there's also a bit of a keyhole right there, which would be perfect because from what I saw of the dress, it does have a tie neck, and there is sort of a keyhole, and then it goes down into buttons, and then it has the floofy skirt. Oh, this is a Valentine's Day project. I don't know if I said that. This video is planned to come out around Valentine's Day. I'm going to decide where I want the swoosh to start for the skirt, and I'm just going to do either a circle skirt or a gathered skirt. So it really depends on how much volume I'm looking at. Honestly, the biggest factor of what I do or how much volume I put into the skirt depends almost entirely on how much fabric I have left over. So all things considered, the pieces for this pattern, for this dress, are the buttons that are already covered. This is the front piece for the top. This is the back piece. There is one piece for the tie portion, I think. I don't know where I put it. One piece for the facing of the front. So that's 4 pieces, and then the skirt piece. And we'll see how we go from there. Turned out too bad. Well, we'll know when I try it on. This is how I fixed the fit problem. I added a tie in the back. I know my original thought was to just do the top part and then a circle skirt, but when I tried the top part on, I was like, oh, if I just had added a couple of inches at the bottom, it would have been long enough, and I wouldn't have to waste more material on it. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how this goes, and we'll see how disappointed I am. Redoing the red dress, the red and black modeled dress that I did last year for Valentine's Day, but I'm just doing it as another option for the more cute feminine look. That you could do. So instead of trying to make my own like modeled material, which worked debatably last time, I found this material on moodfabrics.com, and it looked perfect to me. This does have a pattern. It is roses kind of layered on top of each other with shading in black. It's not the exact fabric, like I was saying, on and on and on in that other video. I don't know if at this point I could find the right fabric. I don't know if it was ever available, but this is what I'm working with. Also, it is a stretch. I believe it's a rayon, but it's a stretchy material. It's a jersey, which is perfect. Got like 3 yards. I'm gonna use the same pattern and give myself extra room in both the length of the sleeves and the length of the dress itself, instead of normally like getting cut off, you know, at a high point in the thigh. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room, because like I say all the time, you can always take off or you can make things smaller. It's a lot harder to make things bigger. The point of this is to make it look as not necessarily seamless, but as professional as possible. So I'm going to make it a really, really small neck opening so that I don't have to add pieces like I did last time. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. There are a couple of things that I have decided that I want to do with this particular pattern that I don't think I did last time. Last time, the material that I had was not as stretchy as this material. I had to add in a zipper. I'm doing something that I may regret later. I've decided I'm not going to have any closures. I am going to just have it be a pullover dress, which may be a mistake, but it's my mistake. I'm going to be, you know, basing it off of dress B like I did last time. Just trying something new, and if this doesn't work, then we'll know for next time to not do it. So, and I still want to keep some of that shape, so what I have done is I put the pieces basically like this, but then instead of just cutting right here, I did leave a little bit of a triangle out to give it a little bit of shape. So when I get to this part, the front is going to be all one piece except for a little bit of a dart on the sides. Here-ish, there's going to be a couple of side panels, but it's going to be about right here that there's going to be a little bit of a dart just to give me a little bit more shaping. We are basically finished. I came to the realization that right down here, this is long enough that if I want to, I can do the ruching effect that I was so against the first time and not have it be too short on me. There are 2 seams, one right here and one right here and here. Those are basically where my legs are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this seam flat, and I'm either going to take some cut off fabric or I am going to grab some ribbon, if I can find it, and go up probably on this line to make a kind of channel. Make a couple of strings so that I can have it either ruched up like that or laying flat, but there will be some strings hanging out the end. Was right here, but I looked at it again and it looks like it's on the sides. I had a day that I wanted this to come out and it's clearly already past that, so I do really like it without that, but I like this. She did not wear boots. Like, if these had a bit more of a heel to them, I would say definitely there's something that she would wear. But yeah, this dress as a whole, I really like it, surprisingly. So yes, that's basically my Valentine's Day options. I wanted to give you more than one because I kind of had a feeling that the pink dress wasn't going to turn out as well as I wanted it to, just because in my head it was one thing, and then as I started working on it, I looked closer at the pictures and I'm like, oh, not what I thought at all, which is not great. But the plan was to have this done before Valentine's Day, to have it up so that it could be like, hey, these are options. Not that I think that anyone would, or, you know, not that I'm thinking that that would be inspiration or anything, just a couple of fun things if you want to watch something about dresses on Valentine's Day. The few things that I would try again with the pink dress, first of all, that I would use chiffon or a much lighter weight material, because, you know, you could layer it up and it would be a lot more floaty as opposed to just swooshy. It would also lay better. I would take more time and work more diligently on the pattern. With the Isabelle Lightwood dress remake that I did, I actually really like. I can see myself actually wearing it out and about. Those are a couple of my options for potential Valentine's dresses. If you are someone who enjoys wearing dresses, those are my takes. I did a sweet one and I did kind of an edgy one, and I thought the contrast was kind of cool if you wear dresses. I have a project going that I hope to get out in mid-March. Other than that, I have a couple of things that I can just kind of sprinkle here and there that don't really have anything to do with anything. It's not going to be a reliable schedule, unfortunately. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day.